Andrew Life.
So it's the Senate Education Committee on March 11th after a short break. We are shifting gears to get a report or kind of an overview, understanding of the work of the Governors Institute. It's Governors Institutes. I'll just say that I got an email from Elizabeth sometime, and I responded. We ended up having the conversation, and I went, "Oh, this is really worth our time. We should take the time to do this." And so we probably don't know everyone in the committee.
I've met a few folks in the room.
Okay.
I don't know everyone.
Okay. Well, why don't we? So Senator Hinsdale is here. So actually, she says she's because of she's going to listen to the other meeting with the baby. So she'll be listening anyway.
Hello.
And then we have.
I'm not a Shane, the senator from Wyndham County.
Good afternoon, Dave Weeks, Rutland County.
Seth Longarts from the Bennington Senate District.
Terry Williams, also from Rutland County.
Steve Heffernan, Madison County.
I would say Bennington Senate District because I have a few towns in the county of Wyndham on the edges. So.
Gotcha.
So would you introduce yourself for the record? Introduce all three of you for the record.
Sure. Thank you, Chair Bongarts, for having us. My name is Elizabeth Frascoya. I'm the Executive Director of the Governors Institutes of Vermont, and I'm also an alum. Way back. We have some more recent alums with us.
I'm Caleb Pincus. I live in Roxbury, and I'm alone.
I'm Max Goodfellow. I'm from New Haven, and I'm also a GIP alum.
Great. So,
How recently are you alums?
2024.
Same here.
Okay.
it's very
fresh.
Very fresh. Not as much. 1994. So, may I give you an overview? Okay. Well, you're pleased to take a few minutes of your time. I know you've had an intense day and you're having an intense session. So thank you for welcoming us in to tell you about what we're up to. I know Senator Hisham has come to volunteer and share with our students about what the legislative process looks like, and we appreciate that. You're all welcome to do that in the future. We'd love to have you be a part of it. So the Governors Institutes of Vermont, it sounds like we work for the governor, but it is an independent nonprofit 501c3. We were formed in partnership with the state provisionally in the very early 80s under Governor Snelling. The Governor Snelling, Agency of Education, and the Arts Council came together to provide opportunities, particularly for low-income youth who might not have opportunities available to them based on their income and their circumstances and how education was working in rural settings. So that was the impetus and the beginning of where we launched from, but we have added many topics over the years, including global issues and youth action, which is the one that deals most directly with the legislative process, but also health and medicine, which is extremely popular, trying to serve the needs of young people who want meaningful careers and want to contribute to their communities, as well as Vermont's workforce needs. So it's a wide spectrum, and I will leave you with sort of the full scope of what that looks like this year. One addition for this year is weather and climate science, and we're going to be looking at the flooding and how to predict extreme weather events and how to ensure that Vermont is resilient going forward. So that's an interesting new topic. Yeah. These programs are intensive 1 to 2 week long programs on Vermont college campuses. They're designed to inspire young people to aspire to college and to careers that are meaningful. We want them to see Vermont universities and colleges, so that we partner with UVM, we partner with Champlain, partner with several campuses of Vermont State University system, and Norwich University. So those are our partners for this year. We have ebbed and flowed over the years. We hope, as I said to Senator Bongarts, to be back at Bennington again one day, and continue to spread around what we're up to. It's a tuition-based program, so students do pay to attend these programs, but that tuition is on a sliding scale. And the most important thing that we can do is provide access to young people to get in front of these transformational opportunities. And I'll turn it over to these guys in just a moment, but students can pay as little as $10 to $20 to attend for a week or 2 weeks. You can hardly buy a sandwich at that point right now for that. So we are doing all we can to make sure it's accessible financially. We also help with transportation. We really feel strongly that every young person in Vermont deserves the opportunity to dive into something that they love and find their people, right? A lot of what they say is that they have found folks who share their interests. I'd love to share more about the finances, but I'm going to first turn it over to these two to share what their experience was, Gus. So
Yeah, sure. So this last summer I attended the 2024 Arts Institute at Castleton. And that's a 2-week long program with like 150 kids. Yeah. And I took 2 classes, the first of which is called Finding Your Artistic Process. It's taught by Nehemiah Luckett, and it focuses on kind of the design and process aspects of art. So it's a little more abstract, but I took a lot out of it, and I'm still using it today. Currently, I'm working on a sustainability project, and I'm still using the sequence I learned from idea to finished product, whether that's an essay or I'm working on windmill design. Actually, I'm researching that right now. And then the other class I learned was called observational painting, taught by Andrew Pitch. And that learning kind of more of a classical painting style and building those skills. And currently I'm actually entering into the Vermont Wildlife Art Contest. So, which has cash prize. So, wish me luck. So we'll see how that goes. But I think most of what I took out of it was, and what still is with me to this day is about community and how strong the community is. And I think Vermont overall has a pretty strong community. We're kind of scattered through the mountains. And that's where GIV comes in. It's because I think that nothing unites a group of people, especially young people, so much as having a common interest and a common passion. And I think GIV really does bring people together.
So that was great. I'm Max Goodfellow. I'm an alum of 2024 Tech and Design with GIV at Champlain College. And going into Tech and Design, I really didn't know much. I was told by a teacher at my school who was familiar with it to go into a program that you don't know a ton about and just to keep an open mind. Like it's a really great opportunity to try something new. So at Tech and Design, I also did 2 workshops. I did programming with Python, which is a programming language. And then I did cybersecurity. And I absolutely loved my time there. I learned that I really enjoy computer science, which is something that I wouldn't have known otherwise. Like I was familiar with it, but like now I'm at a point where I'm legitimately considering majoring in computer science in college. And so I'm still using my Python skills, the programming skills I learned to this day. My mom works in road weather, and so she asked me to make a program that converts one type of data into a different type. And so that program is now running on weather stations in Connecticut, which is kind of fun. And it's something I never would have got to do or known I was interested in without GIV. I'm also taking a cybersecurity course at Champlain College, the same place I was. And I also learned I like that without GIV. And so I think for me, GIV was just like a really great opportunity to try something new. Like my school doesn't offer any computer science or programming classes. And like, I honestly could say that without GIV, like I never would have known that this is something I really enjoy doing. And I really want other students to have that same opportunity. Like, my little brother, he's rising junior, 10th grader, sophomore. And I'm encouraging him to apply, and he's applying for Tech and Design actually. Because I love that experience, and I really hope that you guys can support it, because it's really a great opportunity to just find what you're interested in, or also what you're not interested in. Like it's only for me it was 11 days, I think, and like I loved it, but like if you go there and like you learn, like I absolutely do not like tech working in tech. Like that's great. You figured that out and not like in college where you have to switch your major. Like you're just there for 10 days. You get to try something. But I really had a positive experience and I hope others get to experience that.
That's interesting you say that because you said it to me on the phone that it's just as good an outcome if somebody goes and says, I don't like this.
Right.
Still, that's a really good outcome as well as if they
Right.
also find. So how did you each find out about it? And how did you find out and what advantage did you to apply?
So I found out about it through my school's newsletter. And what was the second part of your question? Sorry.
What motivated you to apply?
Oh,
I think
so-
you answered earlier.
Yes,
Talk about
I had a teacher who really encouraged me. Students in the class to love the experience and like you'll love it. Like go out there, trust me.
I heard about it years ago, actually, from some of my friends or people at my school who did it and recommended it very highly. And I never really gave it much thought. I wish I had, because now I'm a senior, so I got my chance to do the Arts Institute. Can't do any more now, but I hadn't pursued it before because I live on a flower farm and they're very busy in the summer. But that's what I like about it.
Very interesting. I learned a lot from that because I just said, tell us about your impact, and now I have some more detail. That's great to hear. So I'd love to just share the funding structure. It has always been partially funded by the state, even though we are an independent nonprofit. It's a little bit of public partnership, public-private partnership, same. And it originally was conceived as a third state funding, a third tuition, and a third private philanthropy. At this point, thanks to an increase for the FY24 budget, after 17 years of flat funding at the state level, we did get a significant increase, and we are so grateful for that because it allowed us to expand our health and medicine to serve double the number of students. It allowed us to continue the sliding scale tuition. We are in the governor's budget at $384,874, so just under $400,000. We are grateful for that. We're grateful to be in the budget, and we're coming here to respectfully ask for a 3% increase over that. Costs have risen a lot. I can talk a little bit more about that, but the increase, it amounts to $11,546. So our ask is small in comparison to some of the other folks who may be coming through this room, but it can really make a big impact for young people. Because last year we saw that 55% of our students were low income or extremely low income. You have some details in the package to review that. That's the highest number we've seen. I think our outreach is doing really well. We partner with folks like VSAC through their talent search, their Gear Up programs. We work with every high school in the state to ensure that folks are coming from the most rural communities and from all backgrounds to make sure that folks are getting access to this. So 85% had some amount of financial assistance requested last year, and 55% were low income, which means they're paying those low dollar rates when we are paying the room and board, mostly back to, all to Vermont schools, but almost $600,000 we spent on room and board at Vermont colleges. So a lot of what we're doing is pouring right back into Vermont's educational economy. And we're really working to strengthen those partnerships. I think Champlain is a good example of it. We're also working a lot with Vermont State University. 12% were first generation college. I think that's important to note. We really are trying to show what's out there, open doors, and provide pathways and assistance along those pathways. So in considering this request, and I know you have lots to consider, that $11,546 will go a long way to ensuring that, more than 300, it says 350 here, around 350 low-income students will be supported by that. So even though it seems like a small amount, it can do a lot. I wonder if you have any questions for us.
No, the one thing, just repeat what you said to me the other day about the 3%. You said you did it requesting it in part to make sure you don't end up with over 17 years of flat.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
partially just.
Well, and one statistic that's in here is, just since 2022, right, post-pandemic, college costs have gone up a lot, and there are a lot of drivers for that, but 43% more cost for us for the.
So is this isn't for the 2026 budget?
Yes. it is. And I should say, that with that, increase, like, it's not just that the costs are increasing, it's that we're also serving more humans. Pre-pandemic, we were serving around 400 high school students. This year, we are, hoping to serve close to 638 students. So we have increased how many people can access this, and, so we need your support.
Thank you.
So when you're there, food, shelter, and then schooling, right? What'd you do on your downtime? Did they have activities you guys went and did, or?
Yeah, there were activities pretty much all the time. When we were in class, we had, I believe it was like 2 3-hour class blocks each day. And then when we weren't in class, we had, I believe it was like 3 like guest speakers who came in and talked to us about, like, they were experts in their field. We had some people from UVM come talk to us. I believe we had like a college, Champlain College admissions counselor come talk to us about the college admissions process. There was also time just to hang out with the people we met, because like we were working with these people every day, and like I made some friends that I still talk to almost every day. We also played games, like Humans versus Zombies. I'm not sure if you did that at GIA.
You probably do that here.
But we played a massive game of tag on our, I think it was our second to last night there. So like I can't remember every single thing we did, but there were other non. Yeah.
And you said you were from New Haven, right?
Yes.
And yeah, we had 3 between classes. We had 3 sets of workshops that were mostly student led workshops on whatever activities we wanted to. Most of them were art related, of course. And then in the evenings there was an artist series, which is it's just basically a bunch of performances or guest speakers coming in, talking about their art, displaying their art, playing music. So we didn't have, I wouldn't say we had that much downtime. There was so much packed into those 2 weeks. But it was really fun.
One thing I also want to mention that I haven't yet is, so we put out this academic guide for schools. This details each institute's contact hours and how it relates to the curriculum. For transferable skills, mathematics, science, basically the proficiency indicators. 4 of our institutes this summer will offer college credit opportunities as well. So anyone could go to their guidance counselor and take this and try to work out a flexible pathway proficiency credit from just having attended JV. It's very intensive. There is downtime. It's a lot going on. But 4 of them can also use dual enrollment vouchers or pay privately for college credit. Just want you all to be aware of that. It's a cool opportunity.
So how much does it cost to have somebody who's too close to having the program?
It costs almost $3,000.
You said you pay them $3,000, then you collect it. So
Yeah, so and we are doing a lot of private fundraising, right? So
Yes.
there's tuition, but there's a lot of private.
yeah, I was going to ask that question because you said the goal had been a third, and a
Yes,
third.
and now it's about 20.
So what is it really between those 3 at this point?
Yeah, it's about 20% state funding, a third-ish, 30%, 30 to 35% tuition on that sliding scale. So whatever people pay in, and then 45 to 50% raised dollars. So all together, we're looking at sort of like a 5 to 1 non-state dollars to every state dollar.
Are you maxed out on how many students, or could you take more?
I think we have continued to build staff capacity to be able to take more. It is sort of a just add water situation. If we have more funds, we can hire more staff to have more capacity. So we're not maxed out. We have about 750 applicants, and I would say there's only a handful that don't merit an admission. We just don't have enough spots to admit all of those students.
Yes, so question.
Yeah, just a general comment. I participated. I think it was 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
When the Governor's Institute was down in Putney and at Landmark College, and it was for a couple of hours, and going through different groups of teenagers and talking about the job that I've had, the legislative process. Another piece that was also cool was the international students who participated, and seeing those connections that were made between, Vermont students and, people from Ireland, Germany, and, all over the place. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, just a general comment that it seemed like a really great time. And I can see why a lot of the students really enjoy participating in this.
So I didn't realize you have some international students as well.
In that particular program, because it's meant to be fostering cultural exchange.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
This program overall is for Vermonters.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Questions? Thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks for
you're
inviting
doing-
us.
I love what you're doing, say that. These things, it's funny how much, like, I went to Boise State,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
but, a long time ago, I remember a lot, it was on one level life changing, even though it's only for a week and a half more than it was at the time. So I understand what you're doing. I understand how it's mostly I remember like that.
Well, and
It's fun.
Max may have a career in tech and also zombies versus what it was, so we'll have lots of skills to bring in. Thank you again for inviting us. And if you have any follow-up questions, I'm very available, and I'll leave you with these brochures if you don't mind, just so you have a sense of it. And if you can spread the word in your home communities where you have a few more weeks left for applications for this.
And thank you too for taking time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Like
Grade levels?
that I had to miss
And
school.
these, 9th, 10th, 11th.
Okay. And you both are seniors or?
I'm a junior.
I'm a senior.
Okay.
It tends to be, I think you mentioned to me, am I right, that it tends to be the students come either between their sophomore, junior year or their junior and senior year. Is that?
It's actually fairly spread out
Okay.
between folks who are leaving their 9th, 10th, and 11th grade years. I'd say the highest percentage is 10th, leaving 10th grade, but it's not by much. It's fairly.
Okay.
Did they ever do anything up here at the College of Fine Arts?
We did last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Well, thanks again.
Right, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Have a great
So
day.
by the way, if you would send us just a quick letter, so we'll assemble in the request, and if you can just do it.
Sure.
One page is plenty.
Yeah.
That,
Sure.
reminding us
Of
what the
this.
request is.
Great. Happy
All
to.
right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Let's share here.
Yeah.
We're adjourned. We can go on.